Hi everybody, how you doing? You ready to do some magic maths? Shall we do some today? It's Thursday. Today's the day when you have to really get those brains going. Quick mental, quick fire questions and quick fire things to look at. How did you get on with the part, whole questions? They were quite tricky, weren't they? It's quite tricky having a practice with all of this, which is why I thought we better come back today and have another go. Anyway, shall we get those brains working? Get your magic maths glasses if you've got yours. Mine are just here waiting. And let's get that magic going. Ready? There we go. Super, super duper. Now I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to move that sellotape over. Well, shall we start off with some quick numerals, because we are going to actually be using these today, because we're going to move on from just looking at the part whole diagram to actually seeing what it looks like when we write it down in a sum. So we need to look at these quite a bit to practice and remember what they are. Okie dokie. So say what you see, remember. Right, let me just get my cards at the ready. There we steady, go. And the next one. Do you know, I've got a feeling these are all upside down. There you go. Next one. Ooh, see? There we go. Say what you see, folks. Nice and loud. One. Next one, these are the big numbers, aren't they? Big ones over 10. Have I got that the right way round? Yes, I have. And that one. And that one. This one. And that one. Nice one. Big one. That one. Next one. How are you doing? Are you doing well? And the very, 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 very last one. I'm not feeling this one we've seen before, but anyway, there's the last one. Okie dokie. Well, I hope you did well with those, because we will have to use them again later on. Now, today is actually the very last magic maths session we will do before the little half-term holiday. Next week, we're not really going to be doing like school activities. There will still be things for you to do, and there will still be stories for you to listen to on YouTube and things like that. But our magic maths sessions, especially all about number, are going to stop. And then when you see me again, we're actually going to do magic math sessions all about shape, space and measure. And they're the other kind of mathematical skills that you've got to learn. Okay, so this is our last one where we talk a bit about numbers, and we're going to try and remember the things that I've taught you over the week so far. So remember right back at the beginning, we talked about having one more. Can you remember? We had things that we could count in our hands. Maybe it was some beans. I've always got my beans. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 beans in my hands. But your challenge is to think, how many beans would I have altogether if I added one more? What would it be? 5 and 1 more makes 6, doesn't it? It makes 6. That's right. The one more thing that we did when we learned about that was quite easy. But it's a little bit more difficult when we talk about one less, isn't it? Let's try that. If I've got 3 beans in my hands, What do I have to do to make that number 1 less than 3? 1 less than 3. What is 1 less than 3? Do you know? Well, it's 2, because to get less, I've got to take some away from the amount that I've already got. So I had 3 and I've took 1 away, and 1 less than 3 is 2. Let's try that again. I'm going to go with this number. I've got 4 this time. But what is 1 less than 4? Think about it. I'm subtracting, remember, aren't I? I'm taking 1 away. So shall I do that? So what is 1 less than 4? 3. Yeah, 3 is 1 less than 4. And if we were going to do a bigger number, a much bigger number, oh, let's see how many I can get on my hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we've got 10 beans on my hands, and I've got to think, what is 1 less than 10? 1 less than 10. And there are different ways that you can think about that. This is where your number line can help you a little bit. Because if you go all the way to 10 and you take 1 back, then you end up at this number. You end up at number 9. So we take 1 away. 1 less than 10 is 9, isn't it? Yeah? Okie dokie. Can you remember what the symbols were that we looked at? What did that symbol mean? Doesn't just mean a cross, does it? What does it mean? That's right, it means plus, or it means add. It can mean both those things. And if we were writing a sum about those beans, we could draw it. We could have those beans. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magic beans. Add 1 more. Then you've got to remember this symbol. What did we say that was? Equals, or the answer is equals 5 plus 1 equals 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What about a bigger number? What about 10? And what about this time if Mrs Bowen doesn't draw the beans? I just remember what the numeral looks like. So I've got to think, ooh, I'm writing that down now. 10, 10, 10, 1 and a 0, 1 and a 0, add 1 more equals, well, there are different ways that you can do it. You can sort of count in your head 10 and the next number, or if you've got a number line, you can look at the number line. You think you're doing 10 and 1 more, so you're going that way, is 11. But really, if you're getting really good at knowing your numbers in order, you should know that already. If you were a little frog jumping from number to number to number and back again and forwards again and back again and forwards again, you should know really that 10 add 1 is 11. Yeah? Just keep practicing, that's all you have to do. What about this one? What symbol does that mean? It means take away, doesn't it? We just talked a little bit about that. The big fancy word is subtraction, taking away. So if we were looking at our beans again, let's have 4. Take away 1 equals, come on clever clogs, work it out, easy peasy really. We're going to take 1 away, so we end up with 3, don't we? 3, or you could write 3 like that. But this time, no beans to draw at all, just numbers, and we're going to go for a bigger one. I'm actually going to go for this number, 11. Take away 1 equals what? So you've got 11 You might want to do it in your head and think 11, count backwards, or go on your number line, 11, go backwards 1. What do you get to? Number 10, don't you? Number 10, because 11, take away 1, is 10. Is 10. Okay, and that's what it sort of looks like. That's your sums that you will get used to writing. You'll do a little bit more of that in year 1. You'll start doing more sums in year 1, and then you'll get to learn much bigger numbers than 20. You'll get to learn 30 and 40 and 50 and all the way up to this number. Who knows what that number is? It's 100. That's right. It's 10 times 10. It's 100. It's a huge number. But you'll get so good at your maths that you'll look at that and think, oh, easy peasy, I can do that. You will. I know you will. Because I've told you, the magic of maths, it moves from being all around us to being in you. You've got some of that magic in you now, which is why you can do your maths and your number work just like that. Easy peasy. Right. Let's do some more practice, shall we? We've looked at numbers, we've looked at symbols, we've done a few sums. Let's just remind ourselves about some part, whole, and then I think we'll do some counting. But it's not a long magic maths lesson today because you've learned such a lot, and all I want you to go and do is just keep practicing and just keep doing it, because you're so brilliant at it that that's all it takes. Is just keep practicing with those patterns and keep practicing with those sums and keep practicing with your part, whole, and you'll just get really good. So let's give it a go just before I finish today. Lego bricks again, because they seem to be quite a good thing to use, and I've got 10 in my whole circle. So I'm going to split it into 2 parts, and let's have a think about which way I could do it. Let's go this way. Let's go for 4 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And who thinks they can work out what should be in the other part? 2 lots of 3 is 6, yeah? So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I'm just going to take this sheet off, because if we are going to look at the sums again, oopsie, drop everything, Mrs Bowen, that's the last thing you want to do. If we're going to look at the sums again, then we're going to be writing down the numbers that we see. So we have just taken our whole 10 and we split it into part being 4 and part being 6. So we're going to do our sum now. So I tell you what, we'll start off with the bricks at first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll put the symbol in, because we're adding, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals. And there'd be 10 bricks there, but I shouldn't really be writing them like that, should I? Because we can see them like that. So we don't need to draw them out like that again. But what we do need to do is remember what those 4 bricks look like if we're writing a numeral. That's what we need to do. So we need to go 4, add 6 equals 10, don't we? So from our part, whole, we've actually made a sum. Shall we try it again? Let's put the 10 back in there. We're going to find a different way of making 10. 1 in here. So how many have we got left there? Let's see if we can subitize that. 4 and a 5. All together makes 9, doesn't it? So there we go, there's 9. So remember, you've got your objects to help you see how many you've got. So you know you've got 1 in here. So we all know how to write number 1, don't we? There's the numeral 1, and we're adding. And you might have to think, oh, it's 9. It's that funny one. That is it that way or is it that way? Well, it's this way, isn't it? Yeah? 1 plus 9. 1 add 9 equals 10. Easy peasy. When you keep doing it, it really is easy peasy. Ever so easy. Right, we'll carry on now. Put those back in. And this time we will do 2. 2 in this side. And that leaves 2 lots of 4, which is 8. 8 in there. So we've got 2 here, so we think, what does 2 look like? That's another tricky one that sometimes people draw the wrong way around, but you can have a go. 2, add 8 equals, and what must it equal? 10, because everything's making 10, isn't it today? Okay? Easy peasy peasy. And if you're finding it hard to do the 10, some clever clubs out there might be doing 20s, like I gave them a challenge. Well, if you're finding it hard doing 10, then start off with 5. Green bricks here to show you 5. The whole is 5, but we're going to split it into 2 parts. So look what happens if I put 2 over here. How many do I need to put in that part? 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3 here plus 2. Remember, it's not 10 is the whole. The whole this time is 5. 3 plus 2, or 3 add 2 equals 5. Yeah? And we'll do one more because we've got one more little space on the bottom of the page. So we will have, I'm not going to put anything in there. I'm going to leave that empty. So I'm going to put all those in that part there. And I'm going to leave that part empty just here. So what would I write there then? Do I write empty? Empty circle? No. What do I write there? I write 0, don't I? 0 plus, how many bricks? 5 equals, have I added anything to that? Have I taken anything away? No. It's just the same, isn't it? I've just moved it really. It's just the same. It's the whole number actually now, because we haven't added another part to it or taken another part away. So 0 add 5 is 5. Okay. Now then, I think that's lots and lots of sums for you to be practicing, isn't it? You could be practicing those with your grown-up, because also what I have done there, I've been writing my numerals, and we haven't actually done anything about writing numerals, because that's just something that you can just practice at home. You can get your grown-up to do this for you if you want to. You can put some dots like that, and you go over the top of them to practice your letters, your numbers, because 2 is quite a tricky one, isn't it? So you just have to trace over, but you could do that. So you can practice your numerals as well. Okay. Now, shall we do a little bit of counting before we finish as well? Count with me all the way to 20. Let's see if we can do it nice and slow. And then we're going to speed it up a bit. Right. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then let's go back. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, Ready for the zoom down to 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Blast off! Well done. Well done, everybody. I am super proud of you. I have seen some absolutely super work that your mums and dads have sent me. And you've been working so hard at home, I can see that. And I think some of you are getting so clever with your numbers and your maths. And you've got nothing to worry about when you go into your next class and all the new learning that you'll have to do, because you're doing so super duper with what you're doing with me, and particularly what you're doing with your mums and dads at home. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for today, folks. So keep enjoying your maths, keep enjoying your numbers, keep finding new ways of making patterns and doing part whole, and if you can, stretch it up to 20 and be working in those numbers like these bigger ones in here, like, oh yeah, like 19, and what were those other ones that we had? Oh, 20 and 15, and I think I saw 17 in there. If you can start trying to recognise those numerals more and working with those big numbers, that will really help you, and it'll help those brains to get even bigger. Okay, right, well, you take care, everybody, and I will see you very soon with more magic maths. And don't you forget that magic has moved from being all around you to being in you and making you super. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye for now.